everybody.
Hello.
I think my first slide I need to make longer because it was already gone by the time we went live. So the welcome I don't think even came up. It just started with the other. But I will edit that for next week. So thank you guys for being here. We missed last week due to the hurricane. I got power on about 2 hours before we were supposed to come on, and it was hot. And I knew it would not cool down before we were scheduled to start. So I took the week off. We are happy to be back with you guys, and I'm going to reschedule the guests that were supposed to be on last week as well. And yeah, we are here. So I'm Kat, the nurse flipper. I'm joined by Rod, my co-host picking and punching. Below me is Marsha, who you see in the chat every week dropping links. And this week I'm going to try to drop the link. We'll see how this works because Marsha is here. So that is who you see all the time in the chat dropping links for you. And then Caddy Corner is a good friend of mine that hasn't been on in a long, long time, Dave Midwest Picker. So Dave and I started our channels about the same time. He's a nurse, I'm a nurse, so we had a lot in common. And I'm happy to have Dave back on with us. So I'm going to let Marsha introduce herself, then Dave. And it looks like we've got about 11 questions in the queue right now. So get them in early. If you want to make sure they're answered, get them in early and put them in all caps if you can. And yeah, so here is Miss Marsha.
Hey guys. Yeah, you usually see me in the chat posting everything. I'm Marsha, Red Cardinal Treasures. I sell on eBay and Etsy and also Whatnot, although I haven't done a show since April and need to get back into it. And hopefully I'm going to start Poshmark. Kat's trying to push me into that as well. And I have started posting on my YouTube channel again. So I am up to 517 subscribers. Yay! So if you get on over there, that's great. I'll be posting more coming. Glad to be here.
Perfect. Here is Dave.
Oh, big screen. Yeah, my name's Dave. I'm from West Michigan. I've been an eBay reseller since 2002. I experimented with Macari, didn't like it so much, so I'm just eBay, have a YouTube channel. I used to upload once a month, and it really kind of slowed down. Now I'm uploading every 3 or 4 days, and my channel is just exploding. I don't know why, but lots of views, lots of new subscribers. So welcome, everybody.
Perfect. All right, so let's see what we have got going on here. Okay, Lala says, why am I so afraid to cancel Photo Room and bump LP to express listings? Is it hard to learn? It took me a long time today listing cross-posting help. So I know Marsha's using it, but I don't know, are you using the express lister yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, so Dave, do you use it?
No, I don't have the time to do that.
Okay, and I know Rod isn't, so let me take this one. So I will tell you, I have not canceled Photo Room because I like some features like the AI photos on Photo Room. I also like the centering function that Photo Room has, where if we take our pictures off center, it automatically centers them. And I like the light on feature for Photo Room. So I have kept my Photo Room subscription in addition to Express Lister because I like those features, and those features are not available on Express Lister. The only feature on Express Lister for Photo Room is to remove the background. Now they do have different colors, but they don't have the AI, the center, or the light on, which I am obsessed with. And so I have not gotten rid of that. And is it hard to learn? You are asking at the absolute perfect time because tomorrow afternoon, I believe around 3 p.m., I am going to go live and I'm going to do nothing but do AI Express Lister listings with you. I asked in my last video if people would be interested. They said yes. So I will be live with you tomorrow afternoon for a couple of hours to come and watch me doing it. It is absolutely not hard to learn at all. And as far as a long time cross-posting, Teresa Cox, who is with List Perfectly, gave me a tip that has really helped me. And that is, I do 10 listings in a batch, and then I will price all of them, get them ready to go, and I put them all out to eBay. So 10 go to eBay. Once they're on eBay, 10 go out to Mercari, and then same thing, 10 to Poshmark. So where before we were putting it to all 3 platforms at the same time, when you're just listing to like all Mercari, you know exactly where to scroll, you know exactly what to click, and it's a lot faster because it's repetitious than if you're jumping from eBay to Mercari to Poshmark. So that really has sped mine up. And I would recommend anybody do it that way. If you are doing multiple listings, it's a lot faster. But again, come up tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to do it for a couple of hours with you guys so you can watch. I want to point out what I am changing with AI Lister, because I don't leave it all. You know, you have to be a human and check it, right? We can't let AI do everything. So I'm going to point out what I do change and just go through it over and over and over again with you guys tomorrow. All right. Wendy said, can you give me some quick tips on Jim Shore figurines? Are the Disney ones the most profitable? She is still new.
Well, I do have 1 or 2 listed, but I'm not an expert to let you know which ones are more valuable. So I'm going to pass that one on.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. Just that you have the original box and package and paperwork, it makes it more valuable than just a standalone figurine, but I'm not familiar with that brand.
Yeah, so the Disney stuff, as you guys know, I do sell a lot of Disney stuff. The Disney stuff does do well. There is a 3 Wiseman, like on camels, that does well. I think there's a comp on that one. I recently saw for like $1,000. Anything pop culture, though, there's like a Scooby-Doo. There is... I think what else is there's a Grinch, there's other ones. So like a lot of pop culture characters do well, but it's always condition. It comes out of condition big, and just like he said, having the box, having the paperwork does help add a premium to them.
So in my experience, the answer to that is yes, the Disney ones in my experience, which is pretty limited, but they have been the most profitable ones. I had like a 3 Siamese cats, and it was like $100 sale in a day. Where like the angels and stuff like that, you have to figure with anything, not just Jim Shore, if it's limited edition, that's what you want to look for, because the limited editions are going to be worth more money because less are produced. So the demand is going to be higher than the supply. So that's going to command a higher price. But in my, again, pretty limited, that's what I look for with the Jim Shore. Like Marsha and I were at Key Training Thrift in Wildwood, and they had a Jim Shore, what are the cornucopia? And it was worth like $50, but they had it priced at $40. So like if it had been half off day, I probably would have got it because the sell-through rate was good. But just as an example, like most of the Disney ones I see are higher than that $50 point. And most places with Jim Shore tend to price up. It's almost like Vera Bradley with most places. They price that stuff super high. So you really have to research, because some of them it's worth paying up, but most of them it's not. So I would say I would go on an individual piece by piece basis. Don't assume anything with any of them, because there might be a Disney one that they made 20,000 of, and there's tons of them out there, and it's not valuable. You know, you can't like say across the board.
Yeah, well, I know one I have listed because I just relisted a bunch. It's just an ornament, you know, probably 4 inches tall, and it's listed I think $12.99 or $14.99. So it's not very expensive at all.
Yeah. So just be careful and make sure that you check like the exact one. All right. Philbert says, I have been selling in person since I was 14, just turned 62, and I want to look into eBay. I tested a few listings, but they have been up a bit over 30 days with no views. Am I doing something wrong?
That's going to be hard to answer that question without knowing exactly what you listed. Make sure your titles are good. You got good keywords, good pictures, good items to start. Yeah, we'd really have to see the listings to really answer that good for you, though.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing and have Kat review your listings for you.
So I would say normally when I get that question, it probably has to do with sell-through rate. That's the biggest issue a lot of new sellers do run into, is that you put an item up and you don't look at how many are listed compared to how many are sold. So if you put up an item to say there's 100 listed and only 10 sold, well, that's going to have a 10% sell-through rate. So that means every 90 days, only 10 of them are going to sell. So it might not be a very sought-after item that you have listed. On the reverse side of things, if you have 10 listed and 100 sold, you're going to have a tremendous, every time one's listed, 10 are selling. That's going to be a big demand for that item. So the biggest problem a lot of new resellers run into is not looking at the sell-through rate. So I highly recommend you want to look through how many are listed, compare, and then click on comps, and then click on sold. If you go in the settings, you can click on completed and then sold, and you can actually see how many are actually sold in the last 90 days. And then that should give you a good understanding if it's an item that's very sought after or not. And if it does have a nice sell-through rate, then I would take a look at the sold comps of what you're pricing at and what the comps have sold for.
Yeah, and I'm going to agree with that. I'm also going to tell you, like Nacho Cheesin makes a good point here. Views do reset every 30 days. So if they've been listed like 31 days, they might have just reset. But I also want to say that eBay, your listings are in the algorithm. And if you've only listed a few things over 30 days, there's no consistency there. Whereas if you were listing 1 or 2 items a day, eBay would see that you were feeding it, and it would help your items to be viewed more. But I agree with everybody else. We would need to see what you're selling, where you priced it, how your pictures are, how your titles are, what the sell-through rate is. So it's not necessarily that you're doing anything wrong, but you might be. Without looking at them, it would be really hard to tell. It could be so many things, but I would say, yes, feed the beast. Being consistent, even if it's 1 item a day, you're getting something up. Or, like Rod said, the sell-through rate, it doesn't matter how many listings you put up. If you put up an item with a 200% sell-through rate, it's going to sell, right? The algorithm's not going to hurt you because it sells more than people are listing it. So if you have really good sell-through, you can kind of put it through. So I will tell you, postcards as a general rule are very, very low sell-through rate. Most of the postcard sellers I know have like over 10,000 listings to get regular sales. And then they're selling for like $2 and $3 a piece. So the postcard sellers I know are selling in quantity. Like they're selling 100 postcards a day to make any money. So postcards are probably, I will tell you, there's one exception to that I know, and that would be vintage Halloween postcards. Those have an amazing sell-through rate, and they sell for a lot of money. But if they're especially if they're like souvenir destination postcards, they're a dime a dozen. There are so many out there that I don't list postcards anymore at all. Like, I found it to be a waste of my time. Filbert saying they're a pain to list. Who was it? I was talking with somebody. It was somebody that was on our last show 2 weeks ago. And somebody has got an AI bot listing postcards, and it's scanning and listing like hundreds per day. And they're doing nothing but feeding the machine. Like, AI scans, AI uploads the photos, and AI does title and description. Like, they have created this bot to list postcards for them.
Well, that's what they do in sports cards. So if you sell sports cards, you can actually put 100 cards through a scanner, scans all the cards at one time. AI can actually search the sports card, create the listing for you, and then you can there's a bunch of different AI programs for sports cards, and then you just list them. So that's how these sellers, and people always wonder, like, when people are selling cards for $1, $2, $3 or postcards for $1 or $2, like, how they make any money. They're selling them in quantity. Like you said, they're selling hundreds of those items a day, but they're getting $1, $2, $3. But think about this. I mean, if you do 200 listings in an hour at $2, $3 a listing, I mean, you're putting out $400 or $500. The same thing that we would do listing 10 or 15 items a day. So, and usually when you do have those orders too, because you can ship through the eBay's standard envelope rate, so they're shipping these things for 50 cents or $1, and then people are buying in bulk, so their shipping cost is a couple bucks at most.
Yeah. Dave's saying postmortem cards. That's the same, like daguerreotypes and tintype photos. If you have postmortem ones, they are very valuable. So there are always exceptions to the rule. Like we might say something basic, but I don't care what category it is. I bet money there is something that is valuable and a fast sell-through rate. Any category on eBay. There's always going to be an exception to the rule.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I would ask when that was, like a Coke postcard for 50 cents and a 700. That's that exception to the rule. So your majority are not going to be like that, but there are good ones. And I don't have the knowledge, so I quit buying them, because I really didn't know what I was looking for that was valuable, except Halloween postcards, and those always go super high because everybody knows that one. So I couldn't win any of those, but I quit doing them because of that. All right. RTB NYC says, what is a good source for pricing 1967 to 68 Hot Wheels cars? eBay research has been unhelpful. Prices are all over the place for similarly conditioned cars, and they are auction heavy.
Rod will probably be a good one to answer this one, but I'm sure there's Facebook groups and other groups out there that deal with those. I don't deal with Hot Wheels, so.
Dave?
Yeah, there's websites like for Lego, there's Brickseek. So there's got to be a website for Hot Wheel collectors that will have every Hot Wheel ever issued since the 1960s with a general price guide. But yeah, you're right. eBay comps are all over the place depending on the condition of the car. So I would try a website first.
So one thing that I do that's kind of old school is I go on eBay and I buy those old big books. If there's something you guys want to learn about, there's glassware, you guys want to learn about toys, vintage toys, Hot Wheels, there's many books out there, complete guides that have hundreds of pages with pictures in, and they're a great reference. So if you guys are ever niching down on something, I highly recommend picking those up. Now the price is going to change over time, but here's the thing is, if something was rare 10 years ago, more than likely that thing's still going to be rare now, just the price has gone up on that item. So it is a good reference guide in there. Especially with like Hot Wheels, the older ones like Red Lines, even the cars beat up, condition is going to play a factor with those cars. But yeah, just like they said, you're going to go to different websites. Each car is going to have a different price point, and each car. And I would also recommend using Google Image. If you try using Google Image as an app you can download, you can actually take a picture of it, and then I can actually search.
Not Google Lens.
Oh, Google Lens. Well, yeah, Google Lens. That's
I didn't know if there was a new one.
No, sorry. Yeah, I call Google. I call Google Image sometimes. Yeah, Google Lens. So if you download the app to your phone, you can actually take pictures of it, and it will search the internet for you. And that's a good reference tool. I use that a lot when it comes to like action figures or like the Disney pins I pick up. It at least gives me a starting point. It gives me a bunch of different websites. And if you have like WorthPoint, I'll show you like sold comps on WorthPoint. You can actually log into WorthPoint and see what the comps have been on those items.
Yeah, and I just put the link for WorthPoint down in the chat. That is what I was going to say. I don't do cars. I know one person I would, he doesn't do a ton of videos, but Harry Humstone, I know he is big into cars. He might be able, don't everybody send Harry pictures of their cars and tell him I sent you. I mean, you could, but I would watch some of his videos. He might have some Hot Wheels videos because I know he does a lot with Redline and a lot with collecting cars. I don't know that much about it, but
Rocky Top Picker is another guy who does a lot of Matchboxes and Hot Wheels. So you guys can send him a message. He's on the reseller locker room. I would send him a message. Yeah. He may be able to point you in the right direction. Just tell him Rod sent you.
Yeah, and they might be able to give you like better sites because they sell a lot of items like that. T Media said, what is the one item you picked that made you love being a picker?
Well, I sold a little bit back in like 2003, 2004 to stuff around my house. But then when I got back into it about 5-6 years ago, I picked up it was a lug, L-U-G, little crossbody purse from a Goodwill from $3, and I resold it for $46. And right then and there, it was like, okay, I can do this. So I had no idea what a lug purse even was at the time I picked it up, but it was still brand new in the package. And I was like, $3, I'm going to try it. Mm-hmm. And here we are.
Yeah, it's hard to pin it down, but I like sourcing things that I don't know anything about it, but I can just tell that it's worth something. I bought a doll of all things on Hybid, and it was a really strange, weird looking 18-inch doll. And I thought, this has got to be worth something. And I didn't even have time to research it. Won it for like $14. Turned out it was a custom made doll by a doll artist, and she only made a few hundred of each one. And I sold it for $189 and paid like $14. So I love sourcing things that I know has value, but I have no idea what it is, and I research it after I buy it, and then I find out it's a home run. So that's exciting for me.
So for those that don't know, I'm actually a third generation picker. So my grandparents used to go to, like, in the 90s, would go to like garage sales and buy a bunch of stuff, and they used to set up the flea market. So I used to go with them as a teenager and sell sports cards there. But when they would get there super early, I used to go walk the lots and go pick the other vendors and buy stuff. And I just had a good eye for stuff like toys, for like vintage sports stuff and sports cards. Well, when I got my first job, being like 15 or 16, when I was making like $9-10 an hour, and then realized that I could flip things on this, when I was flipping stuff at the flea market, making 20, 30, 40 bucks within an hour, that's what made me fall in love with picking. Because why would I want to spend my time working a 9-to-5 job doing this? And I realized that when I was a teenager at that time, I could make so much more money just doing picking on the side and doing that stuff. So that's what really made me fall in love with picking.
So I think my biggest thing, and I got something to show you because this is one of the type of things that I love finding. I actually found it today. So I got, and if you've watched me for a long time, you'll remember this. It's probably been 2.5 to 3 years ago. I got 2 Asian tapestries in a lot. I paid less than $1, and I put them on auction. One sold for $1,200 and the other one sold for $1,500. And I paid $1 for them. So stuff like that, it's almost like Dave, where like I look at this and I'm like, there's something, like I don't know what. You know, and that's something you develop with time, like your eye. You might have seen it somewhere on a video, wherever. So let me show you what I found today, and I'm going to show you the tag. So this is a tapestry from Thailand, and these are all stones or glass. This is things heavy. Like me holding this is heavy. So I'm going to show you their tag, and I'm going to tell you what I saw when I used Google Lens. So here is their tag. So it says vintage tapestry, Thailand elephants. It was $50 and they put up to $200. I found this exact tapestry. It was on First Dibs. So I am going to have to research more, for $2,200.
Wow.
Will I pay $50 for possibly $2,000? Yeah, I will. I don't know. First Dibs is notoriously higher price. So, but it's still, it should be over $1,000 minimum, right? And I paid $50, you know, like you can't beat that. So mine is the linen stuff, like the older linens that are rare. And a lot of those I put on auction because I figure the collectors know more than I do and they determine the value. And it worked perfect with those $2 ones. I don't know if I'll do it on that one. If I can find like worth point comps, I'll probably price and let it sit. That's what I prefer. But if I can't find a ton of comps, I might put it at, say, $500 start, 10 times my $50, and let it go. And that works. I started those tapestries at $1. I was like, I'm letting them go. I paid $1. I'm starting them at $1, and it worked.
Kat, I sent you a picture.
Oh, where'd you send it, Dave?
Instagram, private message.
Hold on, I'm looking. It didn't come through, Dave.
She finds brass wall hangings for $60 and lists it for $500.
It didn't come through, Dave.
I'll send it again.
Yeah, we found a signed Curtis Jair. I was thrifting with Marsha. I found a signed Curtis Jair brass sculpture. Sonny, what's going on, my friend? Hi. So Scott says in junior high, he would buy chewing gum and sell it between classes, and he made more doing that than in his first job. I also, in middle school, so I was there when they first changed it to middle school. Maybe it was still junior high. Anyways, I would go to Sam's. I would have my mom buy me a jar of Warheads, And then I would sell the warheads for like 10 cents a piece at school. Same thing. Like,
yeah, I did that in
You know?
elementary school. So on my way to the bus stop, they had there was a candy store. And they used to do penny candy, like candy for a penny. So I would just buy a bunch of it and take it to school. And then the principal called my mom, and I got in trouble because I was slinging candy and things. So
Yeah. I did the same thing with smoke bombs in
yes.
the third grade. I sent it now, Kat.
okay. Laura said her dad was a picker. Back in the day, they called him a horse trader. He actually brought home a pony in the back of a Chevy S10. I brought home a donkey in the back of a Chevy Equinox, a baby donkey.
Did you
But
really?
I did bring it home. Yeah.
What
Yeah,
happened to
totally
your
did.
donkey? You still have it?
No, some like it, you're. Don't make me cry. No, the neighbor's
Okay.
dogs
We'll talk
attacked it.
about
and
your
I
office.
No, the neighbor's dogs attacked it, and I spent like thousands trying to save it. And then I was like, I'm not getting any more because they couldn't control their dogs, which they're not there anymore. But I still like that. You know what I mean? Like that anything can like jump in it because he was a baby. If he was a big one, he probably would have kicked the living crap out of them. But he was a little bitty cute little baby. Scott, yes, Scott talked about this old Chinese scroll that he needs to get evaluated. Dave, is this a sold one or one you have list? Oh, here's Dave's doll. See?
How much is that listed for?
$150.
No, 150. Okay.
So there's Dave's doll. I mean, you like the longer you do this, you just get a feeling like that stuff is worth money. Thrifted Spirit said my mom was a picker. She did antiques most of my life. My brother was the one in my family, and he was like 20 years older than me. He did flea markets, and he would buy like U-Hauls of stuff to sell at the flea market. My dad was a gambler, okay, which is where I get it from with like high bid lots. My dad was like, I grew up going to dog tracks and gambling as a small child. So I have that love for gambling. Luckily, I'm nowhere near Vegas or I would be in trouble. But I'm going to give Scott my whale because I like my whale and say thank you to my friend for sending the super chat. I appreciate you. Here you go. Look,
You know, back in the day, there were.
Oh, go
when
ahead.
When you first started learning, you couldn't look stuff up on your phone. You know, back because when you started selling on eBay in '99 when I did. So like, you didn't have access from your phone to. You had a list from a computer. So when you went out picking, you had to go with your gut feeling a lot of times. You know, that's why people all the time comment on my videos and say, "Why do you have other pickers in here? Why do you go pick them with other people?" Because when we first started, that's how I learned. Like, Kat was saying that her uncle was 20 years older than my grandparents, my dad. You know, would teach me stuff when I was out and about. That's how you learn, but going with other people.
Yeah, and you still, like Elena goes with us, Marsha goes, and like all of us notice different things. Elena picked out a $500 ice cream machine I didn't even see. Yeah. She gave it to me and it sold in a week. I mean, she let me buy it. I was like, "Are you sure you don't want it?" Because she was the one that knew it. I didn't know it, but she said she didn't have room to store it and she didn't want to pack it. So I paid $40 for it. It sold for $5.75 in a week. And I walked like it did not catch my eye in the least. I walked right past the thing.
I never saw it.
But now you always look for that when you're out and about. If you see one, you're gonna pick it up. Yeah.
I think Dave should field this question from Aaron. Aaron would like to know what rock you've been hiding under, Dave.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think I didn't address that. I've just been so busy. I stopped uploading every week, and I uploaded videos once a month, and haven't been on other people's lives. I think in the summer, the lives really slow way down, and now I'm uploading every 3 or 4 days, and it's made a huge improvement on my YouTube channel. But I think summer times people get busy. That's my excuse.
Yeah, no, they do for sure. I quit live selling during the summer. We're hoping to start back next week. And I know when Dave first moved into his house, because I asked Dave to come on, he didn't have good internet there. So I actually reached out to him again. I was like, hey, did you get the internet fixed? Because I had asked him and he had just moved and it was crappy, but now he's got it fixed. So he was able to come back on.
For sure.
Yay, Dave.
Yay, Dave's back. Wendy said she forgot to say she was praying for me last week. The weather is nuts. The weather has been nuts. And I put it in my video. I don't know. I think I put it out already. We actually had roof leak in one of our storage areas and lost a bunch of designer boxes. And we haven't been able to fix it because it keeps raining and you have to apply the roof sealant. Well, I think I'm going to write it off. My inventory is insured, but it's not enough that I want to make a claim and make my premium go up. You know, like we bought roof sealant. It was relatively cheap. My mom's boyfriend is going to come and put it on this weekend. And we moved stuff obviously out from under where the roof was leaking, but it's just not enough. Like if you file a claim on insurance, you know, your rates are going up, and I just do not like, it was not enough to warrant that.
You don't want to do that right now. Trust me.
Not to mention you got those boxes for super cheap. So
yeah, the actual loss is very, very minimal. So hopefully we can get that daggum roof sealed this weekend. It's been pouring every day, and all I'm thinking about is like the water leaking through the roof. I'm like, and so it's wet in there. So we hooked up a dehumidifier because it's also making the other inventory moist is the problem. So we could have like further problems down the road. Yeah, it's not fun. So we've got the dehumidifier going in there. I just bought a big window unit, which is an AC plus dehumidifier we're putting in there tomorrow. And hopefully it'll keep it under control till we can fix it this weekend. Cheryl says, I sold a pair of Skechers. The customer left positive feedback, but ordered wrong and that the shoes were not mates. New tag shoes, she says she will donate. So I don't know. Cheryl, my question to you would be, did you know that the shoes were not mates? If you did not know and did not advertise them as not mates.
Or were they and they're just saying they're not?
Right. I would, if they were not mates and they prove that, and you see that in I would look at your photos, and it was your mistake, then I would refund them. Now, if you said they were not mates, then I would not. I don't know I guess we can all put input on that. But if you're still here, give us a little more information, hopefully.
Yeah, I would say if she can confirm that she was in the right, I would just say, hey, return and I'll refund. That's because it sounds like she's fishing for a refund.
Yeah, I would need to know more, but if it's the seller's mistake, I reach out and offer to refund. But if it's the buyer's mistake, I don't know. It doesn't sound like the buyer's asking for a refund, but
the red flag to me is says she will donate. It's kind of like, oh, I already threw in the trash thing.
She said that they were mates.
My feelers go up.
So she just posted in the comments they were mates, but she ordered the wrong size.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, she should just return them.
Yeah, tell them to return, and then you'll refund her what you get them back and confirm they're the same shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if that's on her. And I think I agree with Marsha. Her saying, oh, I'll donate them means she already got rid of those shoes. That's what I'm hearing too.
Or she just wants you to think that, oh, I'm sorry, I'll give you your money back.
Yeah, I would not. If that were me, I would not give a refund. Rod, would you give him a refund?
No, because anytime the buyer admits that they're at fault, which they did right there, that she ordered the wrong size, right away you're in the right on that. So I would give good customer service. That I do offer returns, but you would have to pay for return shipping since you did order the wrong thing. But I would accept a return. I would tell them that. But other than that, I mean, it's unfortunately stuff like that happens. We've all bought the wrong size or bought something that we thought that we weren't paying attention, and it happens.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of Elena and her new name, Treasure Diva Thrifts, there is mine and Marsha's thrifting partner in crime. She says, is it worth the extra cost to list in more than one category when listing on eBay?
Great question.
I personally wouldn't. I've never tried it, so I don't know.
Depends on what it is. I've done it before. The cost isn't that much, but it depends. If it's a fast seller and it's not going to relist every 30 days, and it depends. Like it could be like an antique tool. You could put it in the antique category. You could put it in eBay Motors tool category. I've only done that 3 or 4 times out of 800 listings, but it really depends on what it is.
So I would say, yeah, it's not. If it's something that's super rare, or, I mean, I don't see the point to it. Spend the extra money, put in multiple categories, to be honest with you, because when I search, I don't search by category. I search by the search tab on eBay. You know, so I'm searching for a specific thing instead of searching the actual category. Now, the reason why I like to do that, and you know, especially back in the day, I used to misspell words a lot of times because people used to list stuff in the wrong category. People would misspell words, so that I would be able to find listings that would have a lot less views, or maybe something that's been up there for a while that no one else has seen. But that would be a benefit to actually list in the actual category if you're searching the category. But on the reverse side of things, I rarely search by category. I search by an actual item that I'm actually looking for, because I know specifically what I'm looking for. So I don't think it really matters. I mean, it can't help. I mean, if you have something that's a super high-end item, you want to get as many eyes on it possible. If you spend an extra, the cost is very minor. So you can put it in multiple categories, but I wouldn't do to all my items. Maybe just something that's rare or something that you want to get extra eyes on.
Yeah, for me, I say it's not worth it because I don't think many people sort by category, right? Like Rod said, if I want something, I'm just searching in all categories. So I'll put like gaiters, shirt, extra large. Like I don't even put men's or women's when I put that. I just want to see what comes up. And I think most people, that's how they typically search. The only time I have done that is for like Dalton shoes, where I'll click on boy shoes because I want boy shoes. But that would be one where that would be the category. Like it would be boy shoes. You know, it's something that really wouldn't have another category. I think most people are searching though by all categories.
So real quick, Elena on Treasure Diva Thrifts just posted her very first video on YouTube. Yay, Elena! So I just posted her link, so if you guys could go show her some love.
Yeah, she did. I had to show her how to use our necklace that me and Marsha use for our GoPro. She had to change her shirt. I'm calling her out here because she had a tank top on, and the GoPro is very heavy, guys. It will weigh your shirt down. So if you're wearing a GoPro, you better wear a t-shirt, or you're gonna get a little more attention than you might want if you're a female. Just saying, the GoPro will weigh down a tank top. But yeah, so go check that out. Marsha posted that link in the chat for you. Liz says, when you share on Poshmark, who are you sharing to? And do you have to have your own following?
I have not done Poshmark yet, so that way.
Yeah, I tried Poshmark. It made me angry, so I don't use it anymore.
And Rod went MIA. So I will say, I do not share anything myself. I use Liz Perfectly's Poshmark sharer, and who it is sharing to is my followers. Who I'm gonna go look. I'm gonna laugh at this because it sounds so ridiculous. I have 142,000 followers. So if you hear that, you probably think I'm making tons of sales on Poshmark. I am not. I am following, because I use a program to follow people. I am following 263,000 people, 250,000. But that's all done by automated bots that I pay for. Poshmark does not make me angry because I have the tools that make it where I do nothing. After I list it on the platform, List Perfectly shares it. I have another app that sends offers out, and I do nothing except for originally post it there. They also have a feature now with Poshmark. You can share your whole closet with one link. You used to have to go through and share each individual item, but now Poshmark has it where you can share your whole closet with one click. So for those of you that don't want to pay for a service, it's one click and you share your whole closet, and you could do it to, 2 or 3 times a day if you wanted. We had Go Snow on a couple weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, and his primary platform is Poshmark. That's where he gets all of his sales from. So it is completely doable. And I'm going to agree with Teacher Treasure Chest here. I looked it up for you guys. I pulled it up, I think 3 weeks ago. My sales on Posh, 75% of my sales were from offers. 75%. And the program I have sends out automatic offers to likers. I don't do that. Now, I have started watching my bundles, and I am sending out offers to my people with bundles, because I think a lot of people are so used to people send them offers on bundles. They make a bundle when they really want something. And I wasn't paying attention to that. And now I am. So now I'm sending out offers on bundles. Just like once every 2 or 3 days, not a ton, but that has helped. So I think that if you try and do it all yourself, it could be a royal pain in the butt. But if you pay, like Marsha, Marsha has Liz Perfectly, Poshmark sharing's included in that. It's free. You just turn the dang thing on and it'll share continuously 24 hours a day for you. You do nothing.
Yeah, I know. I still got to figure the bundling and I don't know. It's just kind of like.
But I was 95% of my sales are single sales on Posh. They're not I don't put bundles together for them. A lot of people do that. I don't do that. If they do a bundle, I'll give them the price. But yeah. All right. Jack in New York says, what is the best approach to price vintage? I'm going to assume that should be 1970s, not 1070s. 1970s Givenchy blouse. Not many comps listed or sold on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you can find a Facebook group or website or something for that brand, kind of do that. Otherwise, if you can find something kind of similar to what you have and kind of adjust up or down from there based on condition and whether it's more extravagant or not.
Yeah, I agree. Just keep on researching. I mean, if you list it for $20 and find out it's worth $2,000, you're going to be pretty upset. So I would just keep researching.
Yeah. So if I can't find an item, I always price. So 2 things I do. One is I'll look for similar items and see what they're going for, and then kind of gauge the market with that. Or if it's something that I have a gut feeling that it could be worth a lot more, I'll price it super high with the best offer on and just let the market dictate the price. And then if I'm not getting a lot of views or I'm not getting any traction on it, then what I'll do is I'll just slowly start cutting the price down over time. And then until I get to, lower that price or maybe end it and relist it a lot lower just because maybe I was wrong on it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm putting the Worth Point link in again because that is my answer. I have had not Givenchy, but I had some vintage St. John that was about that same age that I use Worth Point for. And if you're unsure you'll use Worth Point, they do have a 7-day free trial. And you can look on Worth Point to see if your item is on there without paying. You just can't see the price it's sold for. So, you would know at least if it's there, and then you could decide if you want to do the free trial to see the price. But that is that's my go-to. And anybody, do not confuse St. John with St. John's Bay. St. John's Bay is not money. St. John is. But listen, the mosquitoes are horrible here. Everyone just bit me. In our county word of mouth, everybody's complaint. We have never in 10 years had them like this. And we have had hurricanes throughout having owned this house. The poor dogs and cats, they swarm them. So we put fans for both on the front porch and back porch for the dogs and cats. And they've all learned. So they lay there with their fur blowing and the mosquitoes don't go near them anymore. But I just got bit by one in the shed. Well, yeah, we're thinking, so there's no standing water from the hurricane. We're thinking, my employee said she thinks they're hatching out of the ground because it's so wet. The ground's so wet, which I don't know if that's possible. And we called the mosquito spraying people. But yeah, so If I'm itching like weird person, that's why, because there are roaming mosquitoes in my shed. Nora
Yeah,
said,
you're falling apart out there.
I
You
know.
got holes in your roof, you got mosquitoes all over. Like,
I know. It's like
what's going
horrible.
on out there? You need to
Get
move.
I don't
3
know.
limbs down on the power lines, you know.
Oh, there are lots of, that's the thing. We haven't picked up the limbs because the mosquitoes are so bad. So the limbs are still all over the yard because we're like, you go out and it's like so hopefully the truck will come soon. Okay. Nora said, concerning time management, what do you recommend for picture taking of clothes? How many pictures do you recommend taking? So if you're taking a picture of a clothing item, whether it's shirts or pants, how many photographs would you take?
I'll probably take roughly 10, 8 to 10 on a typical like t-shirt. Front, back, if it's got a logo, close up with the logo, close up with the tag, care tag, size tag, and then maybe a close up if it's got a design or something. That's it. I mean, you don't really have to go too fancy. I used to use a mannequin. I don't even do that anymore. I just throw it on the kitchen table. Use photo room to remove the background.
Yeah, that's, as a buyer, that's my biggest pet peeve is 3-dimensional objects on eBay with one photo. So if it's a flat item, like a postcard, obviously there's 2, but anything that's 3-dimensional, take as many pictures as you can. Like she said, front, back, any damage to the clothing, the tags, the labels, all of that kind of stuff. So if it's a thermos, if it's clothing, top, bottom, all the sides, all around it, inside, outside, they're free. I mean, if you're old enough to remember where you were limited for photos and you had to pay extra, now you can even do videos now. So yeah, I agree with her. As many as you think you need, do.
So back in the day, time management with photos, you had to manually go in and like edit each photo, to adjust the lighting on and stuff like that. Now, time management with photos shouldn't really be an issue because you can literally take, 15 photos within, less than 30 seconds of items that you're going to be listing. For time management, I would make sure that you have like an editing software that you can quick pop all your photos in there, like photo room. You just pop them in there and it automatically edits all your photos, removes the background, adds, touches them up for you. So that way you can quick list them. With clothing though, like I just take pictures of front, back, any holes, any damage to it. Then I would take a picture of if there's any graphics, zoom in on the graphics. Always take a picture of the tag because people want to see the tag. And then I would recommend, even though I don't do this, but I would recommend when you take the measurements of the clothing, take the measurements in your photos. From that way, if there's any discrepancy, you literally have the measurements in the photos and there's no issues.
So for me, front, back, tag. If it's a shirt with a design, I like, what am I wearing? Oh, I have a Columbia one. So there's a design on the back of this one. I would have a close-up of the design, like the graphic on the back of my shirt as my front picture. So I'd show the whole front, the whole back, the tag, and then a close-up of the graphic. See, we don't take pictures of our SKU sticker numbers because we put it up and then we go back and file where everything's at. So everybody will have kind of their own method. But if you're a new seller, I do want to give you this tip. Take a picture of it on the scale so you know how much it weighs. Like a lot of jeans go over that 1 pound mark, so you would know to put 2 pounds on that. You can do that with any item, and then you can delete it before you list it after you transfer that weight into your shipping. So like on a basic t-shirt, we're at 5 photos to give you an idea. Now, if it's expensive stuff and if there's any defects, we're going to add extra pictures. Like our expensive St. John knit skirts, we show a close-up of the actual knit because they're $70 skirts, so people want to see the actual knit pattern. But any defects you should. Oh, and we also do one Smart Sizer photo for all our measurements because the Smart Sizer takes all the measurements of the clothes. And iPhone only. It is free, but it's only iPhone. Dave, are you taste testing anything tonight? Marie wants to know.
No, I can't hijack the live. It's not my live.
So for those of you that don't know, Dave does taste testing on his channel if you like that. So check that out if you like that. All right. Retail says, I scored 6 beautiful Sarah unicorn cocktail tumblers in an estate sale. Recent comp sets of 4 sold for $175. I ended up with 6. How should I sell? Would you sell a set of 4 and a set of 2, or break it up into 3 sets of 2? If you found these 6 glasses that are really valuable, you know what 4 sold for, how would you sell it?
Personally, I would do the 4 and 2. That's what I would do.
Yeah, it's hard. You could do 2, 3 available. It's hard because you don't know what people are looking for, what they want for replacements. Do they want just 1 because they broke one? And they're not going to buy 4 if they only need 1, but would they buy 2 if they only needed 1? I would start a lot of 2, 3 available, and if it's crickets, then bump it up to 4, and then another listing of 2.
I would say depends on what the individual ones are selling for, because if you do have them, you can do 1 listing with quantity of 6, and if people want to buy multiple, they can buy multiple of them. But if you're trying to maximize,
with 1 glass quantity of 6,
one
not
glass,
like 1 with all 6.
Yeah. So you would take a picture just with 1 glass, put a quantity of 6, and then let the market dictate how many they want to buy per this thing. Someone may come in and just buy all 4, all 6. Someone just might buy 1 off, 1 here. But that's the way you're going to maximize your money if you have time to wait on selling them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so somebody's saying here they just sold, same brand, set of Sarah glasses, 8 glasses. They sold the whole thing as a set of 8, sold fast. There were 0 others listed online. So I will tell you what I would do if I had these glasses. I would sell a set of 4 and a set of 2. And I have come across quite a few. But like Rod said, if I saw singles of this exact glass selling well, so 4 sold for $175, so you're almost at $50 a glass. Let's say there are singles selling for $60 or $75 for 1, then I'm going to list them like Rod said and put 1 glass, quantity of 6 available. But if you have no sales history showing people buying the singles, then I would do 4 and 2 personally. And then somebody, if they're rare and the only ones out there, see this mosquito? I'm going to look like I'm crazy. I caught it.
We can't see it.
Well, you can. It's right there. I'm not crazy. So
debatable.
Yeah. Let's take a vote.
Who said that?
If somebody really wants one, they will message you. And they will ask you. And that's when you tell them, so say the 4 sold for $175, there's no more sets of 4. I'm listing 4 for $200 because I have the only ones. I'm bumping up that price point if there's no other sets of 4. And then if they message me, I've got them at 50 each. I would say if you want only 1, I could do it for $75. Otherwise, I'm not willing to break this set up. And that's how I would do it personally. All right. T Media wants to know, how can we support your channel or your business?
Oh, well, if I was dropping links tonight, I could help you out there. But
I can put, what do you want? Your channel link? I've got it.
Yeah, just the channel.
I've been putting them, just not as often as you do.
I'm Red Cardinal Treasures on Etsy, eBay, and YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for I don't really care about the eBay store. I'm just part-time. But for the YouTube channel, the best thing you could do is share it. I know the algorithm, you could get a PhD in trying to study the YouTube algorithm. But if you watch the entire video, you don't leave after 10 seconds, and share it with people, especially the
that would be my channel.
Yeah, I think sharing, YouTube just loves that. Of course, the like button doesn't hurt and all that kind of stuff, but share it with somebody, especially far away, another country even would be great too. But I think that's the best thing you could do.
Yeah, I would say for me, follow my social media accounts, especially Facebook. Find me on Facebook, Picking and Punching cards. Those are not monetized, so I'm trying to build up my following on there to monetize my channels on there and get a following. So find me on Facebook. That could help me out the most right now. Or subscribe to if you guys like sports cards, go to Picking and Punching Cards. That's my brand new channel that I've been doing. And I do some non-sports cards, but if you like pack openings, I do those almost daily on there. So
I'm going to say some more stuff because I can. So everybody, of course, everything they said, like watching our videos, sharing with your friends, subscribing are super important. But the majority of us as creators, we have affiliate links. So like for me, I have a lot of them. I have my link tree, and I will post my link tree. And I think most creators have link trees. So every time you use those, like Amazon, if I recommended labels or something, I get like 2% of that. It really is pennies. I think I made like $50 on Amazon last month, but it really all adds up. So like if you're going and buying bubble wrap, clicking my link will help me. I get a tiny portion, but all those tiny portions add up. List Perfectly is one. Like I haven't put like my buy me a coffee. That's another way. I have channel memberships. So I think if you look and see what people have available, typically if we're suggesting something to you and sharing it for creators, most of it is affiliate. So we do get a small percent of whatever you do. So like again, the Amazon, like ring lights, anything like that can help. I'm trying to think of like, but just being here and like the super chats are there as well. And again, not asking for it, but since you asked, I want to answer it. There are a lot of different ways, and it doesn't have to be monetarily, you know, just watching, sharing, subscribing are absolutely great. Yeah. Gina says you can buy her a coffee and a sandwich if you would like to support her.
I just want somebody to watch a video all the way through from start to finish.
Marsha just wants you to watch one video.
I don't ask much.
No, not at all. So, I mean, there's a lot of different ways. Definitely sharing it. Dave was right. You know, like you watch it, and it's funny. Tucker Finley, if you guys, he doesn't have a YouTube channel, the 13-year-old reseller that has been on the show.
He's growing up.
15.
Oh my gosh.
He's 15.
Yeah,
Holy
15
crap. Time flies. Okay, Tucker, the 15-year-old, Tucker, I'm sorry. I talk to his dad regularly, and like Tucker, now I totally forgot where I was going with that. What was I going to talk about? I was talking about
affiliate links, but you said that Tucker doesn't have a YouTube channel and
monetary stuff.
I know. I was talking about me and Ryan talking, Tucker's dad. I don't remember. I do have Midwest Pickers link. I will share it again right now. So normally Marsha is in the chat doing this, but Marsha is sitting here in front of you. So I'm trying to monitor the questions, monitor the chat, and drop links.
She didn't tell me I was supposed to drop links tonight too. I thought she was going to have something.
No, I didn't have any, but it's okay. I've got it. It'll be okay. I can't remember what I was going to talk about with Ryan and Tucker. I totally forget. So never mind. Okay. I want to share my screen really quick because somebody asked about List Perfectly, the sharing, and it'll take me like 2 seconds to share this with you guys. So it's going to look weird. You're going to see what we're seeing. This is what I see right now. Now you can see the background craziness, okay? Because I'm sharing my whole screen. So here is List Perfectly up here. Whoa.
Wow.
Can I do this? Is that better? Not really.
We in the Matrix?
We are.
Like
okay, so to get the sharing on, what you do is go to settings and you click on Poshmark. And I don't have it turned on this computer. It's on my laptop. You click Poshmark sharing. You can click active all day and then start sharing. So again, I'm going to go back and show you one more time. Settings, Poshmark, turn sharing on. That's all you do. And that's it. And now it's sharing my Poshmark repeatedly. And now I'm going to stop this and making you all dizzy because that's absolutely crazy.
How often do you recommend to share a day?
I put that on unlimited. Now, if you're doing it yourself, I mean, you have it, so you should use it.
I gotta get a Poshmark first.
I mean, if you want to go grab them, I'm not going to argue. We still have an hour left. So if you would like to retrieve them, I will not complain. My link tree I put in there, and they are all there, and their channels are in the description of this one. Yes. So here's the thing is like, I don't want you to use my affiliate if I'm not the one who told you about and made you want to use that product, right? Like if Rod told you about American Bubble Boy first, use his link, you know? And I don't think it should be a competition between creators. I have had other creators, I'm not going to mention who they are, that are like, I don't want to step on your toes. I'm like, if you tell them about it, that's your referral. That's not mine. I would not get mad at anybody. You know, whoever you hear it from first, or whoever inspired you to use bubble wrap or use the tape or use it List Perfectly, use whoever's link, because that's who gets credit, right? Does List Perfectly go over 10,000 shares? Hold on, I'm going back to it. I will tell you. It says the max value per day is 9,600. They do not. I will assure you they have probably researched how many you can do without you getting in trouble. would be my answer to that. For me, that's only sharing my closet once a day. I have 9,600 listings on Poshmark because we have duplicates because of reasons. Just FYI. I'm not going to call anybody out. Okay, question for Rod. Who do you trust and who would you recommend for card grading? And then I'm going to do some giveaways.
So there's a lot of nuances with cards. So I would say the top, depending on what you're grading, if you're grading sports cards, what's going to get you the most amount of money in the sports card market? It's going to be PSA. But PSA is probably going to have the longest return time for you. SGC is another great company. I've actually used SGC and I've used PSA. PSA recently purchased SGC, but they're two separate companies. SGC is really good for vintage cards. PSA is going to be good for more modern cards. But if you need a fast turnaround, like if you have a hot player that just came out, like a rookie, and he's like on a hot streak, and you don't want to wait 2 months to get your card back, you might want to go through SGC. You can get that back within a week or two and be able to quick flip it. If you don't care about the return time, then PSA is going to give you the most bang for your buck. If you're dealing like Pokemon or other things, I would say either PSA or CGC does a lot with the market. Beckett has really lost a lot of steam in the collector's market. I don't like Beckett. I don't like the cases. I don't like how the companies run. They used to be the best company out there for grading, but they really have fell wayside over the past couple of years. So that'd be my recommendations.
All right, I'm going to put this up here because I'm putting in the chat right now, the first 10 people who use the link get a free month. I'm not drawing. Click the link. You get a free month, $70. And I'm going to answer this because I think, well, Marsha might be able to like List Perfectly over Bindu. Rod uses Bindu. Like we don't try and hide that. Rod uses Bindu. Rod likes Bindu because it cross posts to Whatnot. I know that's one of the main features why he is choosing it over List Perfectly. For me, since the Express Lister came out, it is absolutely game changing. That's the title of my video, but it's the only way I can describe it. It creates your title, it creates your specifics all from photos. And so the Express Lister to me is worth it, even if you're not cross posting. It's worth the $70 a month. You save hours and hours and hours of time. We can get up 3 to 4 times as many listings as we did without it. Before the Express Lister, for me, when I looked up Bindu, it was $150 for the plan that I would need to run my business. And I get that for $69.99 with List Perfectly. So whether they have changed or not, I don't know. So Lori's saying that List Perfectly can cross post to Whatnot through Poshmark. So the thing is that that's only 500 listings, or it was last time I used it, and I have 7,000. So for me, that wouldn't be a viable option through List Perfectly to do that. I do believe they are working on adding Whatnot. Gina says you cannot do that anymore, so that has stopped. Yeah, it is correct. That link is only for new members. If you have tried it before, you cannot get the free month. It is only for people that have not tried it to let you try it for a month. Free from me and LP. No charge. a whole month free. So I know, and I don't know which platforms, but I know List Perfectly auto delists on more than Vendu does, on more platforms, and it's been working good for it. Rod, does the auto delister take them off Whatnot for you?
It does. Takes them off Whatnot, takes them off Mercari. I list on Facebook. No, I don't list on Facebook. I list on Mercari, Poshmark, eBay, and Whatnot. And it takes them right off my stack marketplace. Or if I move them to if I move it to my live auction, it removes them also from all the platforms, which is nice.
Okay. Yeah, and I agree. Like, use what works for you. So, like, if you want to cross post to Whatnot, then that's why Rod's at Vendu. I like the Express Lister and the AI. Of course, Chuck's just here for Dave. He doesn't care about the rest of us. I'm going to put this link one more time, guys, before I go to the giveaway. Go ahead, Rod. I'm going to get the giveaway.
So I've used This Perfectly and I've used Vendu, and they're both great companies. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with either of those companies. The biggest thing, though, I said is one thing we didn't touch base on here is all your listings are backed up, no matter what software you use. So if you get kicked off, if you get kicked off eBay, if something happens where you get sick and you're in the hospital for 3 months and you have to pull down all your eBay listings, whatever, everything's going to be backed up in there. So anytime that you need to take stuff down and restart, that's worth its weight in gold. That does make it. And then also too is use whatever works best for you in your business. You know what I mean? They're both great companies. They both can, the biggest thing is about getting sales. So if it helps you get sales, it's well worth it. So.
Yeah. And people are putting their preferences in the chat. So feel free to read them. Don't just take it from one person. Again, I will be live tomorrow at 3 for a couple of hours with you, showing you how the Express Lister works, which I think is phenomenal. Now, do not ask me how I got this. I can't tell you, but are you ready for this? I'm giving away another thermal printer, my friends.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Do not ask questions. Just enter the giveaway.
Big time.
Do not ask questions. And then I will, at the end of this, put my link. So if you do not win, you can buy one. They're under $100. Look, I can actually show you because, listen, I got to tell you guys this before you see my what sold. Hold on. I got to convince it to come up here. Look, it's pink. Do you see it? Mine is pink. The one I'm giving away is not pink. It's just beige or something. I sold my Dymo printer because I like the Jaden so much. It's going to be in my what sold video. I sold it for $180 in one day. I'm like, I'm using Jaden's and I like it. Why? I have a $200 printer here. I'm selling it. And I still have a backup one. So I sold my daggum Dymo on eBay for $180 because I wasn't using it because I like my pink printer. And when I clean my desk, I set up my pink printer and I'm happy with it. And, I don't know where I put them. Jaden sent me pink labels. I have pink labels to go on my pink printer. I'll show you. They're here. I have them.
It's the little things in life.
Listen, I told myself, I'm like, you have to use all the white labels first. I have them here. Oh, look, I have a List Perfectly corkscrew knife that I can open them with. Hold on. Hold, please. I haven't even opened. Now I'm going to think I have to put them in there because I'm opening them. These don't look. Oh, I got to open them to see the pink. It's only white on the outside. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Now I'm going to have to put them in the printer because I opened them. That's why I didn't open. Look.
Wow.
They're pink.
Sweet.
Jaden's asked me because I'm doing the affiliate. They're like, how many labels do you use a month? And I'm like, they said they'd send them to me. And I'm like, I'm not going to turn down stuff for free. You know me. And I'm like, but could I get the pink ones, please? And they sent them to me.
Nice.
So I had my wife, like a long time ago, I had my wife order me like bubble mailers, and she ordered pink bubble mailers. I can't tell you how many comments I got from that. People love the pink bubble mailers. So I'm sure once you do start shipping stuff out, people are going to make comments about the pink labels. They're going to love them.
Pink label. Brad's like, really? Because he brings it all to the post office. You can't use Jaden's from your phone, only desktop. Is that true? Absolutely not. You want me to tell you how I know? Because on Monday, when there was an active hurricane here, I printed 40 plus labels from my phone on the Jaden's printer.
Nice.
So, yes, it definitely works from your phone. It was super easy. I just downloaded the Jaden's app. It was easy, but it was more annoying than a laptop because you can print all the labels on the laptop, but on your phone, you have to print each one individually. So I couldn't get a scan form or anything. So the post office hated me that day, but it's okay. Do all cross. So Rod, for list perfectly, yes, you have to have your computer always on. Rod, for Bindu, do you have to have it on for it to delist?
I don't think so because I shut my laptop and it does automatically delist for me. So I don't have to have it.
Or does it do it when you wake up in the morning?
That's a good question. I don't know. I have to double check on that. But I mean, anytime it automatically delists right away. So anytime I sell anything, because I don't keep my laptop open all the time. And when something sells from my phone, it automatically delists. So from all the other platforms. So I think it automatically does it. Because I don't have to have it open. It doesn't. So it doesn't.
They're saying
open up.
for Flip, you do have to have it on. Lisa's saying yes.
I'll have to double check.
So for bubble mailers in eBay, you just put like 12 by 9 by 1. You just use 1 inch for that third dimension if it's a poly mailer. So 12 by 9 by 1, 6 by 9 by 1, just 1 inch for your third one. All right, let's answer a question and then we will give away this Jaden's printer.
I think our question too with that mailing is it's a small package. It's considered a small package, not an envelope.
What do you mean?
The bubble mailer is the package, not the envelope.
Yeah,
but it's not.
It's the same. Yeah, it's not like pirate ship on eBay. Like you don't choose like box or poly mailer. You can just put 12 by 9 by 1 and it'll still count it. But you don't have to choose it. I just put it as package.
That's what I'm saying.
Is that what everybody else does?
It's not like a letter envelope. It's a package. Some people confuse the bubble mailer as an envelope. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a
Plain Mom 2 hashtag Jaden's. Hashtag Jaden's. Mark is officially late because it's 9:17 and he's like his normal late is 9:11. Don't ask me how I know that. All right. Patty wants to know, did my mom enjoy the time at the game on her birthday? So her birthday is actually today. Today is her actual birthday. But so my mom is 75 today. She came over for a little while. But Saturday, I took my mom to the Jaguars Chiefs game, the NFL preseason game in Jacksonville. And she liked it. And the sucky, this is kind of sucky. So my mom and I are both big Patrick Mahomes fans. So we're Chiefs fans, even though we're from Jacksonville. So I got our tickets on the visitor side. We were rooting for the Chiefs and the Jaguars kicked their butt. I'm like, Mom, maybe we should have went for the home team today. My mom's like, nope, we still like the Chiefs. I'm like, okay. But the Jaguars played very, very well on Saturday. And we got really lucky. And I don't know if she's watching. I gave her my YouTube. There was a young lady there. Her name was Charlene. So where we parked was on the opposite side of the stadium from our seats. And the Jaguars have, I want to say, the Jaguars customer service at that stadium was absolutely amazing. And I was like very impressed with it. So they have wheelchair service. And when I realized we were on the wrong side of the stadium, I asked them to call for a wheelchair, which they did. And this young lady came, she pushed us all the way around the stadium to our section. But that was great. But she gave me her personal cell phone number. And I texted her and she picked us up in 5 minutes at the end of the game and brought us back all the way around. And her name is Charlene. I gave her my YouTube channel. So in case she's absolutely amazing that she did that. We didn't have to wait. It was hot. And so, yes, my mom thought she could walk, but I don't think she would have easily been able to walk it. So I was very thankful for the customer service we got at the stadium. The fun part. Wait till you hear this. So this is funny. We got out and I'm like, oh my gosh, can my mom walk again from the stadium to the parking lot? And it wasn't far, but my mom just had vein stripping on both of her legs. Guess what drove by? A pedicab. I'm like, oh, hey, guy. My mom has never been in a pedicab. They drive crazy. If you have not been in one, they're like, "Rrr!" Lights on it. We're like jamming out. And so I called the pedicab over and I had him take us back to the parking lot. And my mom is just like, I think she was scared. Dalton's like, a pedicab is the bike that has the seats in the back. Oh. Dalton and I took one when we were in Las Vegas. So Dalton had been on one before, but the guy's like weaving and my mom's face was just, but she enjoyed it. And she said, thank you for doing it. Cause I think she was worried about walking back, but yeah, so we pedicabbed it back to the parking lot with lights on and music, and we were jamming out. So yeah. All right. Sorry, Ron.
I forgot what I was going to say. That's funny.
It was like, I cannot tell you how hilarious it was. Like I don't think my mom had ever in her life been on a pedicab, so it was great. I'm going to put up these 2 super chats and then we'll pick the winner. So Mark is sending his late fee. And then Miss Michael Lynn said, no question tonight. Just a thank you for all the content and hours of learning you give us. You're very welcome. Thank you for your support. Michael Lynn, that's another way, guys. None of us said that. If we're selling on Whatnot, I know myself and Rod do. That's another way to support the channel. I didn't even think about that when we were talking about that. But Michael Lynn has purchased a lot for me on there and I appreciate her. What are we giving them?
I won't say Kevin's butt tonight.
No, Rod. No, Mark gets Rod. Mark gets Rod. So here's Rod for Mark. Michael Lynn, if you have a different request, just tell me. Here you go, Mark and Michael Lynn.
Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Until next time.
There we go. All right, let's pick a winner chicken dinner. So for the winner, stop putting in hashtag Jaden's. So the only coupon for American Bubble Boy is 5% off of packing tape. I've never had a coupon for a discount on American Bubble Boy because he has it priced about as low as he can with minimal profit. Okay, so email. So if you win, email me your address because I have this printer in my possession. Again, no asking questions or you cannot have the printer. No asking questions. Email the nurseflipper@yahoo.com, mailing address if you win. Okay. And if any of you want the free month of list perfectly, if there's any left, tell me in the chat and I'll post that link again. Okay, here we go. Dun, da, da, da. Linda Robinson, you are the winner of the printer. Congratulations.
It always stops right on someone's name right before I think they win, and then like quick switches.
Yeah.
Psych.
Savage.
Okay. All right. That's all I think I'm going to do tonight, and I will do more giveaways next week. But don't ask questions. All right. Let's go to the next question. And I think this isn't. It is a question, but we'll see if we can explain this for her. Sherry T. Dallas says, eBay is stealing my listings. Each month I get $250. On the first, I started at $249. Today I woke up, it said 133 left. In a couple of hours, it was down to 130 without me listing anything. Marsha, can you explain to her why?
Because every listing renews as a listing every 30 days. So if you listed 20 in the beginning and then a bunch of them, in 30 days, those 20 renew and count towards that 250 again every 30 days. There you go.
Mm.
Now, I will say, once you hit your mark and you go over 250, that's when you might want to look into get a store because you do get a discount for listing. Yeah. But it doesn't make sense getting a store until you really financially hit that 250, go over that mark.
Yes. So that is it. A lot of people don't realize that they refresh like that. So you think you can list 250 a month. That is not the case. 250 is the max you can have. So if you sold 10, those count too towards those 250. So if you're over, that is you, Miss Linda. Congratulations. So if you are over that 250, I agree with Rod. It's time to get you a store. And they start at $5.99 for the basic one. The $9.99, I think, is it $29.99 that gets them to $1,000?
$4.99, $19.99, and $59.99.
Yeah, so
Or
probably
$21.99. Sorry, not 19. Yeah.
Yeah, the 21 would get you to 1,000 listings. So that's probably where I would go if it were me.
And you get your coupon with that one too.
Yeah, you get the free shipping. Not free, but I mean, it takes off the cost of the store. Mr. C's Travels says, am I going to lose my top rated seller due to a terrible week? I had 4 cancellations from the 400 sales I have made. So no, I think he's saying he is. No, yeah, he is losing his top rated. So is there any advice or suggestions?
I would just make sure you stay on top of stuff now going forward. Make sure you ship as quick as possible, good customer service, keep listing, working on your store. It'll come back.
Yeah, I just wait it out and make sure you don't make any further mistakes. I lost mine when I kind of stopped listing for 6 months, moving from my old house to my new house with one return. It was crazy, but I got it back. So I'm like top rated again. But just wait it out. Don't make any new mistakes.
So it's actually a rolling 90 days is how you get rated on there. So if you actually go into your overview, if you go to your seller hub, on the right-hand side, you'll see where it says seller levels, and this is region. And it'll say current seller level. If we evaluated you today, where you'd be at. If you actually click on the seller level there, it would actually show you where you were last month. It will show you where you currently are and where you're going to be next month. So if you only had 4 cancellations this week, that shouldn't make you lose your selling. So you must have had stuff happen last month or other times as well that would impact.
No, it's pretty low. It's like 1%. It's low.
Yeah, but it's in multiple categories though. So you're overviewed. So you can fall under certain things, but still be in the top seller because it's broken down over.
I'm looking.
Your transaction defect, your late shipment, cases closed without seller resolution, tracking.
But each one has certain things. So like the defect rate is only 0.5%.
Well, it's based off percentage though, off how many you sell. But even if we sold 4%, even if he had 400 sales and he has 4 issues, that would still put him at 99%. So
right, which should put you at above standard, but not top rated. So that's not that big of a deal. It's when you go below, which is 2%. So you would have had to have 8. I'm actually doing one right this second, and I'm going to tell you what I do. And I've said this, and it's kind of a workaround. I just had a pair of jeans that were listed 3 years. We could not find them. I looked for similar, but they were vintage jeans. Like I was going to buy them and drop ship. So that would be my first suggestion. If you can't find an item or it's broke, would be buy it from another seller and drop ship it. So that would be my first suggestion. For me with these jeans, I couldn't find any that were similar enough that I felt comfortable doing it. So I emailed them, said I'm out of stock. They paid $10 for the jeans. I said, Mark is dropping links. Thank you, Mark. I said, if there's anything in my store up to $20, so 2 times the value of what they paid, anything up to $20, I would be glad to replace it for you. Or if you prefer, I can cancel and refund. They said, please cancel the order. So I just canceled it. The buyer asked to cancel. I gave them 2 options. So then I canceled not for out of stock. I canceled because the buyer asked, which is not a ding.
So another option would be is not to cancel at all. You can actually go in there. You can issue a full refund to the buyer. You'll just have to eat the fees, and then they upload a tracking. So what you do is say, hey, I'm sorry. Send them a message. Sorry, I'm unable to fill this order. What I'm going to do is I'm going to issue a full refund and send you a free gift. So that way you can still send out.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. So what you do is you go in there, you send them, you still print off the label so you have something to label so it doesn't ding you for not uploading the label. You send them some stickers or something like that in the mail. It might cost you $2 or whatever, $3, whatever it costs you. You can issue them a full refund without canceling. So you still have to pay those fees, but it protects your account. So that's another
Thrifting
workaround.
Spirit says same thing Rod just said.
Yep.
Rather than take a defect, I send a free Disney sticker and refund everything with an email that says sorry.
Yeah. Now you're gonna when you do that, keep in mind you eat the cost for shipping and you're gonna eat the cost for fees. But at the end of the day, like what's $10-$20? You know, don't step over $100 bills to pick up pennies. You know, I always say is if you're making thousands of dollars on the year on your account, it's worth it to eat $10-$20 to save your account and make sure you're in good standing.
All right. They're asking me this question, but I'm actually going to pass it to Marsha because I think she's the better person to answer it. They're asking how long would it take to load 1,500 listings? They're saying on 3 platforms, but can you tell them how many listings you did from eBay into List Perfectly and how long it took?
I did 1,340 and it took me about 3 to 4 days.
So times that by 3. So about 9 days if you're wanting the 3. Now, I will tell you, and I will demonstrate this tomorrow during my live. What you will do is you will take them from one platform into List Perfectly. And then on the other 2 platforms, you'll go through there and link them. So you don't have to copy them 3 times. You copy them once and then you just link them on the other platform. And any of your List Perfectly questions, guys, I will demonstrate whatever you want tomorrow. And if I can't, I'm going to have Trish on standby and we will get an answer for you live. So 2 hours, AI, Express Lister, anything else you want me to show you. I think it'll be fun. The funnest part is going to be reading the funny descriptions that AI Lister does because I still use funny descriptions. And I do change some of them. I will tell you that because sometimes you got to be like, would a woman buying $100 skirt think this is funny? Probably not. So I enjoyed reading it, but now I'm going to delete it. So I will show you all of that tomorrow. Okay, let's see if any of us, do you think there is a difference? And if you do, what is it? So they're asking, what is the difference between a thrifter and a picker? And I know a lot of people in the chat answered this, but let's see what the panel thinks.
I never thought about it.
I guess a thrifter focuses on sourcing at thrift stores, then a
Or
picker
to thrift to sell and a picker is more for personal? I don't know.
Picker goes to flea markets, estate sales, auctions. I don't know. I think they both do the same, but maybe thrifters focus more on thrift stores for sourcing.
Yeah, if I had to define both of them, I would pretty much do that. Where a thrifter would be going to more or less mom and pop thrift stores, bins, or the Goodwill, Salvation Army, Savers, those places to go, actual thrift stores to go sourcing. Where a picker is going, they're picking out at people's houses. They're picking at locations such as flea markets, garage sales. You know, they're traveling around looking for antiques, barn sales, whatever you can possibly find.
Yeah, and I don't think of it real because I mean you could be picking at the thrift store, in my opinion. I think they're kind of synonymous, to be honest. All right. Philbert wants to know, how do I change my name on YouTube? It's supposed to be Philbert's Attic. And I have to Google this every time I want to do it. I don't know if anybody here remembers and might be able to tell them easily.
I've never had to change it. It's just been what I set it up as.
I've done it 3 times. I have to Google it every time.
Google. Or go on YouTube and watch a video on how to
Go
do
to
it.
YouTube and ask.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm going to put this question up here.
Oh, I was typing. I don't know them. I was going to say to have them contact me.
No, wrong one.
Okay.
There we go.
Now you made me erase my daggum answer. Okay,
Right.
tell them. You can tell them.
So Kevin will be coming on next week, guys. So you guys have one asked for the Commonwealth Picker. We will bring the Commonwealth Picker. We will bring the Commonwealth Flipper, and we will bring Garage Sale Nation all in one podcast. And he's actually the owner of Bonanza. So you guys can answer all your Bonanza questions next week.
Oh.
He owns, what else does he own? Commons, Divot. The guy just has a monopoly. So Mr. Monopoly is coming on next week. He'll be on here with Eric from the Reselling Network, Reselling Information Network as well. So OBX, great, tons of great knowledge. So they're both going to be on next week. And we will have Kevin's butt live.
Maybe he'll show us it live.
There is a rumor he likes to swing, so we'll see. So,
See if we can get him to take
All
his hat off.
Dave, would you like to explain this?
Oh, she's being silly. She knows it's Enoch. She's always
Yeah,
watching
but
my videos.
other people don't know. What happened? Where's Joey?
He's over here. He's taking a nap. People are asking for more Joey too. I'm getting a little jealous, but yeah, Enoch it's a long story, but 1970s TV show Land of the Lost.
Land of the Lost.
My
Good
favorite.
show.
My favorite Sleestack. He's an Altrusian, so he's actually an ancestor to the Sleestack. I could go on and on and on, but yeah, I commissioned a local artist to make a painting of him, and it was supposed to be 11 by 14, and I was going to put an antique frame around it, thinking that would be kind of ironic and funny. And she sent me a message saying, "Hey, I found this canvas that's 3 feet by 3 feet, and then the painting's almost done." I was like, "Oh, I didn't want it that big." So, but anyways, so it turned out great. So he's like the mascot.
I can hear the picture. You can hear it.
Well, he has a child right here. You see that baby alien right there?
Oh, a baby Sleestack.
Yeah. So that's the
All right.
story.
That's the story. Linda says 60 days listed, vintage trombone, $800 with offers on. She used the range for the model and year as sources disagree. Detailed description, pics and video, exact model just sold on auction for $860. No details, just 8 pictures. I don't know what your question is. Like, maybe she's asking us why it hasn't sold. Miss Linda, are you still here? I know you asked this a while ago, but are you still here? And if you are, can you tell us? Like, I'm assuming she means like she saw it sold on. Oh, what is she do? So it hasn't sold. What is she doing wrong, or what do you think?
One sold at auction for $860.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So her
With no
question is,
details.
what do you think she's doing wrong?
Well, a trombone's probably going to be hard to sell in the first place unless it's one of the more higher end brands. Just because it's vintage, I think it may just be one of those items that you have to wait for the right buyer.
Could be the one that did sell. They have like 100,000 positive feedback, and they just get the jump on everybody else. If your feedback's only a couple hundred, it might be affecting the sale. But
Check
yeah.
shipping too. Check your shipping.
Yeah, I don't know.
So if I was going to buy music instruments off someone on eBay, I'd probably go to someone who specializes in selling music instruments. So keep that in mind. If you're just selling one-off, especially with doing
There are
items,
music stores, just like Play It Again Sports.
correct.
That's very true.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I don't think you're doing anything wrong. I think there are very few people that are looking for that exact vintage trombone. And there's one sold, but I don't know if you have Worth Point. You might want to search and see how many have sold in 10 years. Maybe it's 2, which means it could be 5 years until the next person that wants that trombone comes along. So I don't think it's because you have low feedback and they're a huge seller unless you have bad feedback. But they put it on auction. I would ask, what did they start it at? Maybe they started at $1 and you got this bidding war, and then people are attached and they think that is their trombone. And then it goes higher than yours is. Yeah, that's what happens at auctions. Like, once you start bidding, you have this connection with that thing. Like, that's your thing now, because you bid on it.
Fear of missing out.
If they're a huge seller, they might have repeat buyers too. That's hard to compete with.
So there's your thing. A low start, and Mark is right. One sold in 90 days. Yours is listed for 60 days. You don't know if that one that sold was the only one that sold for 3. Use the research thing.
So on Terapeak, you can actually go back 3 years on the eBay. So
do that. Look, it's here.
There's a
I've
new
been
option.
using it quite a bit, honestly.
You can actually
If you go to my eBay selling, sorry, Rod, there. Okay, tell them about it. That's what you click.
No, I was saying that you can actually click on that now. They have an option on your phone right now, which allows you to actually go back and do the research on your phone. You can actually go back up to Is it 2 or 3 years on your phone? I know on the computer.
Three.
Is it
But the
3 now?
big thing is, like, the first search that comes up will automatically be 90 days. You need to change the arrow down to 3 years and see how many. So the question of whether you should auction it depends on what you're willing to take. And I would say never start it lower than what you're willing to take. So let's say you paid $50 for it. I don't know what you paid for it. If you paid $50, if it were me, I would start it at 100. I wouldn't be comfortable starting it at $1 because I want to make sure I get my money back. Yeah, you have to wait for the right buyer. So it's going to be, do you want to auction it and take a chance of getting less, or do you want to leave it at 800 and sit and wait until that person comes along? I think is eBay available to people that don't have stores? Does anybody know in the app? Is Terapeak available to everybody now?
Yeah. Should be.
So no, it's for everybody is the answer to that.
Yep.
Okay, Mike and Mitzi, thank you, dealer. Say, has anyone ever been speaking to someone about a listed item like your friend, like my friend Marsha? Sorry, I'm killing mosquitoes. And then the item sells. Am I superstitious or the phones and apps are listening?
Well, won't go down that road, but yes, they do listen. That's happened to me a lot. In fact, I was at the storage unit the other day going through boxes, and I'm like, oh man, that thing's still in here. And I think it sold 2 days later. And I'm like, okay, I need to go to the storage unit more often.
I've heard plenty of people say that if they touch their inventory that's been listed for 3 years, it sells that day. I've not experienced that.
I have experienced
I have
several
experienced that.
times.
So it's one of those things where you're going to
Don't
pull
touch
an eBay order, and you open up your tub, and you're like, man, this thing hasn't sold. This thing must be in here like a year. You pick it up, you put it in there, and then it just sells like later in the day, the next day.
That happened. Actually, it was yesterday. I sold one of those plastic insert liners that's that big for a longer burger basket for $4.29. Yeah. And it's been sitting in my store for about 2 years. It's sold yesterday.
But on what Thank You Dealer is saying is that's happened to me multiple times where so especially just think about this. How many times have you said you're talking with someone or you're talking about stuff, and then you open up Facebook and it automatically gives you ads for what you're talking about, or you open up Google and it shows you like similar ads that pop up for what you're just talking about on IG, or so yes, your phone does listen to you. There's a microphone on your phone.
You can use that to your advantage, guys.
Yeah.
I've done that before.
Yeah.
Like, I talk about what I want to see ads for. Like, I was like, remember I do my hair curly sometimes? So I talk about that, and then like all these curly hair products pop up on Instagram for me to look at. So I'd like to use it to my advantage. All right. I'm going to answer this because I just did the math. So Mary says she has a $5 store, which is 250 listings. She's currently at 333. How much will I get charged extra? So I looked it up. On eBay, for that basic store, additional listings cost you 30 cents. So what you would pay for those extra listings, which is 83 of them, is $24.90, plus you are paying your $5.99. So the answer to that is you should upgrade to the $25 store, and you will get 1,000 listings for the same price you are already paying. That's my math. Yeah, so you're paying 30 cents each. You're paying $24.90 a month, plus you're paying the $5. So you're already paying 30. So it would save you $5 plus you get 750 extra listings. All right. Philbert sent a $5 super chat. I hope you figure out how to change your name. Like, it's a pain in the butt. Like, every time I've changed them, it's been a royal pain.
You go to change your name like once every 90 days too?
Yeah, once every 90 days. All right. I'm going to give you Dalton, but it's a little Dalton. I should show you guys real quick. Hold on. So Dalton is back in school. He was not happy that he could not come out here. It's the first week he hasn't been able to come out here. I didn't post it yet. I need to. There's his little first day picture. He wants to be a veterinarian now. He wants to be an animal doctor, is what he said. So here, this is a little Dalton. Here you go.
Hi, I'm Dalton.
was so little.
Mm-hmm. I remember when
It's
he was a newborn.
I know, it's crazy. I started my channel before he turned 1. So he has grown up on this channel. I remember showing on the end of one of my videos his first steps when he was walking was one of like my exit clips. When I first started the channel, I used to, and I should start doing it again. I used to put a 20-second clip of like Dalton doing something or the animals at the end of every single video. That's how I closed it out. I haven't done that in forever. But yeah, so he is loving school, like no questions, because this is his 3rd year at that school with the same class. A few people have left and a few new people have come, but the core group of them are still there. So it's his people. And yeah. All right, let me see if I didn't miss any. If not, hold on.
I made a comment, but I don't know.
Gina said, where did you make a comment, Dave? I just reach out and touch something.
No. Besides that, if I get a lowball offer on an item, like a crazy stupid lowball, some other person 50% of the time will buy it at full price. It just happens.
So Gina's saying, am I saying that it is okay to buy a Coach purse for $5 and sell it at $20 if it comps at $60, but you just want XYZ back? So this is a very touchy subject with resellers, because what they are going to tell you is that exactly what you're saying. They complain you're messing up the research. You are driving the price, the market price of that item down, right? So that's what they're saying. However, for me, I'm going to price it at that 60. It comps at 60. I'm going to price it 60. But I'm going to send a 10% off offer to everybody the first 3 months. After 3 months, I'm sending 30%. After a year, I'm sending 50% off. So then I would be at 30. But yeah, if you need the money, you need the money. And honestly, and for you guys researching, you should ignore those outliers, because there's people like Gina in this world. No, I love you, Gina. That are okay just getting that back. And it is okay. But the thing is you need to realize when you're looking, there's one at 20 and there's 10 of them at 60. Don't, like, you should, when you're figuring out, like, I don't remember all the terms for math, but you throw out the low liar, you throw out the high liar, right? Because they're totally out of what everything else is. And that's how you get your comp. You don't take that one low one and say, crap, I need to sell this for 20, or that's all it's worth. What are you saying, Rod? I saw it.
So when I search for comps, I search from highest to lowest, because you want to make sure you don't have any variance, like a variation of an item or anything like that. And then also search for the most recent comps, because the market does change. So you could have an item like, say, for example, say it's during football season, your items are probably going to go for a premium during football season, where in the off season, it's probably going to go for lower at that point in time. So you always want to double check that, because you do have a 9. Yeah, there you go. There's a jersey. But
listen, it's not just this one. Look at this stack back there. I picked up. They're almost all Nike on field and Reebok.
Yeah, that's good.
I paid up, but I was like, football season starting. I'm okay paying up. I comped them all. I'm good. Yes, Dave.
A lot of times I source items for free. People just give me stuff for free. So I'll undercut the competition. Let's say the average comp is $50. I'll list it for $40 just because I want to flip it quick. Cost of goods is $0. But if I have the only one on eBay, and Terra Peak says a year ago it sold for $100, I'm going to list it for $150 because I'm the only person that has it on there. So
same thing.
I kind of do it that way.
But here's the thing is, like, if you're doing a quick flip like that, there's nothing wrong with that. You're just trying to make quick flip. You don't always have to sell to the end user. You know what I mean? You can sell to other resellers. So if you're going to list something, especially something that's a high demand, like a Coach purse is going to have a high demand. If you list that for $20 and that's going to sell within the first hour or two.
I might be willing to pay $20 if I think it'll sell fast for $60.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're probably going to sell that right away. It's not going to mess up comps, because you're going to see a bunch of other comps at a higher price. So other resellers are going to buy that are most likely going to buy that and resell it at a higher price. So yes, I don't think it's going to mess up any comps. That's a one-off situation.
Do what you want to do, but I mean, I get the race to the bottom, but you do what you want to do, because if you're the only one doing it, then yeah, on District, sell it on, you know, on Knickknacks, on Dibdit, on whatnot. That might be a better avenue. And no, but Jocelyn and I were talking about that. Jocelyn and I were on the phone, and we were talking about how, like, now there's so much live selling. Like, you might not know comps because there's no record of all these live sales and what stuff's selling for.
And I will tell you, if you get into certain live selling, items do go a lot higher than comps because people just want it. You know, people are going to pay because if people like it, you know, we've all been there. Yeah, you just need 2 people, but we have all overpaid for items because we just wanted the item. We didn't care about comps at that point in time. You want it. So, you know, the value of something is what someone's willing to pay for it. You know, then that's what changes comps.
Miss Linda said for everyone to please keep her in your prayers because she's having open heart surgery in a couple of days, and she'll be back here when she's better. We will, and I hope all goes well. And remember to use your heart huggy pillow. Do not mess up that incision. As a nurse, do not mess up that incision. That is not fun, and it is absolutely horrible, and I have seen it. Use your heart huggy. Do not use your arms to get up and down. Listen to the nurses. That's my advice, because if you mess it up, the recovery is going to be HE double hockey sticks. Okay, I'm going to give you the beach because I think you need the beach. Here you go. You will learn. I assure you, your heart pillow will be your best friend in 2 days, Miss Linda. So a heart pillow is something you hug so you don't use your arms to get up, because I don't want to get technical. Your chest is open, and if you use your arms, you can open it up, and it's called dehiscing, and the wound opens up and it's absolutely miserable. So just hold the heart pillow. You won't be able to use your arms to get up. You're going to use your leg muscles. It's going to be hard. Do not, just if you don't remember anything else, do not use your arms. That is all I'm telling you. Hug the heart pillow. They have lung pillows, same thing. Anytime you crack somebody's chest open, when they sew it back, you don't want it to open. That is all. I've seen that, and it is not fun.
The nurse has spoken.
Yeah. The huggy pillow. But like our heart surgeons gave heart-shaped pillows to and then the lung people had lung-shaped pillows. I would assume most hospitals do that, but maybe they don't. But yeah, see, pillow is the best friend. And don't sneeze. You can't tell her don't sneeze. She's gonna sneeze. We can't stop sneezing, but we can stop using a arm. No, just don't use your arms. That's as technical as we need to be. Just know it will not be pretty if you mess it up. Okay, last question for me, and then I'm going to let Marsha and Dave and Rod tell you what they have going on, and I will tell you what I have going on. What software do I use to send offers on Poshmark? I use OneShop currently because Liz Perfectly is developing sending offers, and I'm waiting for it, and then I can get rid of OneShop. So right now I use OneShop. I'll send you a link if you want it. I think I have like a $10 off coupon, but OneShop is what I use, and I like it. All right. Marsha and Dave, you're going to get big, so beware. Here you go. Tell them where to find you, what you have going on, and anything else you want to tell them. PG only. Okay. That's for Dave. All right, here you go.
I was going to say, wait a minute. Okay, well, I'm on YouTube. I am getting content back up again. I'm trying to grow the channel. I am about 520, 525 after tonight. Thank you, everybody, for subscribing. I appreciate it. I will be filming more content later this week, so please watch out for more videos. And all my links to my eBay store and my Etsy store are in the description on all my videos.
Perfect. Here is Dave.
I'm on Instagram, Midwest_picker, and YouTube. And I'm going to get back into sourcing videos. I've just got so much unlisted inventory, but currently I've been putting up a lot of what sold videos. instructional videos, but I'm going to, Mrs. Midwest suggested I take my old videos from 2 or 3 years ago and redo them because they might be outdated. So I'm going to start redoing videos and sourcing videos. That's it.
Perfect. Rod, I'm not making you big.
I just dropped a brand new video actually like half an hour ago. It was taking so long to upload for some odd reason. So on my Pick and Punch channel, you can see a new sourcing video from the Highway 127 sale. Little spoiler, we find a bunch of designer bags. And I'll drop a new video tomorrow on my Flippin' and Punching channel. I will be live on Whatnot tomorrow night doing a Disney show at 7 p.m. But on Thursday, guys, at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday afternoon, I will be doing a Whatnot on a giant raid train, the storage unit blowout, and I will be putting up tons of great items for super cheap prices.
Oh, I heard about that from Tucker's dad.
Yep.
I still don't remember what I was going to say earlier.
At the end of the month, I'm actually in the storage war battle. That's going to be a big show at the end of the month where I'll probably be doing like dollar starts in like 10 second, 15 second, just sudden death.
I might switch like my shop the shed sales to the storage unit category because I heard it's pretty popular right now.
Yes, we should.
So we might be doing our shop the sheds in that category. I'm putting the link now. You can leave now. I'm not going to complain because I'm the only one left to talk. I put out a video on my Catch Treasure Hunting channel that is the first one in 3 weeks. It has been 20 days because stuff has been so hectic. So I went up to my little local thrift store. You guys actually saw some sneak peeks of the next one. You saw the stuff I found at the second one here in my little local town. But the first one is out now. So you can go watch that. Again, tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to do live express lister listings with List Perfectly. But anything you want to know about List Perfectly, I will demonstrate and show you live. You can ask any questions you want. You can ask questions like you are in here too, and I can answer them while I'm listing as well. I'm happy to answer anything. I think I'm going to do like 3 to 5. Somebody asked if it's available to everybody. Yes, that's not a members only perk. I will tell you there will be benefits to being there, so be there. And I will also be putting out a video on the Nurse Flipper channel after that live listing. So I'm going to get off here and then I'm going to record videos for you guys. I'm not going right to bed. And I want to tell you guys, and Marsha does know this, but I think Marsha and Jocelyn are probably the only people that know. I am working on a webinar for new eBay users. I've been putting a lot of my time into it. And for that, I mean, those of you who haven't listed at all or are very new, like how to open your account, how to research, how to know if something's worth listing, how to deal with scammers and spammers. It's going to be like a 101, very, very new. And I think it's going to almost be an all day webinar where you can ask questions. I'll do screen share. And I think I'll probably schedule it like a month out so people can rearrange schedules if they need to. And I'm going to see Marsha had a good point to me. If there is more need for it on a weekend, I will do that. So I've been putting a lot of time into that, and it's hard. It's hard a lot of times when you guys ask this because a lot of this is second nature to everyone that you see on this panel. And so I'm having to go back and be like, okay, what do I need to ship an item? I need a scale. So I'm kind of having to like reverse my brain to think of what all I need to tell you guys. So
we're to the point where it's like, what's a scale? It's like
we do.
5 ounces.
Yeah.
Okay, I can have 2 pounds.
Second nature. So I'm trying to like rewind and think of that. And it'll be like I said, probably a 6-hour webinar. It'll be a long one live. And yeah, so, I didn't put it. I put in my community feed. If you guys aren't part of my email list, join that because that's probably where I'll put more information about the webinar. And I always forget to tell you guys that I have it. I'm going to give it to Marsha to add to her links for next week. Oh, next week. Rod already told you. Kevin and Eric will be here. Commonwealth Picker and OBX. Did he change his name? He does the Reseller Information Network is what he put in that last time.
Eric still goes under OBX Flipper. So.
Okay. Yeah, OBX and Kevin.
Yeah, and if you guys don't know, Kevin started a new selling platform on District called Commons, Shop Commons. So, which is great for we hear a lot of people on here have a hard time getting inventory, and it's meant for for resellers to sell off their death pile, but it's also meant for other resellers to buy it so they have inventory. So I've sold a ton of stuff on there.
Stuff on there.
There's
I was
good
actually
stuff you can
looking
make
the
money.
other day.
So yeah, we'll talk more about that next week though.
Yeah, for sure. I looked over there and saw some. So yeah, so next week you don't want to miss Kevin's Butt Live, and tomorrow 3 p.m. I'll schedule it in the morning so you guys can set reminders up. I'll see you guys live. I know, cover your eyes, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody just cover your eyes. All right. Marsha, Dave, thank you so much. Guys, their links to their channels are in the description. Definitely check them out. Rod's one, I need to still add his 2 other channels. I will do that. Check out all of Rod's channels as well. And thank you, Rod, for still being here. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.